Hello, everyone. I am Lindsey Latham. I'm a spirit medium and a psychic development mentor, as well as an animal communicator. I find lost pets all over the United States from my home through a process that I created. So, this is just, I've started these daily check in videos to get in the habit of doing long form content and to just begin sharing with you all parts of me and my experience in effort that you may learn from them, as well as commenting on the energies that I'm experiencing and on a collective and personal level. I am a no tool psychic, so everything is channeled, and I work with people one on one. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so through the Linktree link that will be in the description. If you would like to inquire about something specific, you can go to my website and fill out the contact form, or you can email me also, which that information should be there too. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the little ringy bell thingy. Okay, so crazy shit happened yesterday. Right after I made the video from yesterday, I left to go pick up my son, and it was pouring down rain, and I hydroplaned off of the highway from the fast lane. My car, I have my dog. I have a dog. Come here, baby. Her name's Sage. We have a dog. She was with me. And I hydroplaned from the fast lane into a grassy median, whatever it's called. And literally my car went off. I knew I was out of control. It was already out of control. There wasn't anything that I could do. So I just kind of like let the universe take the wheel, because if I would have done anything, my car would have flipped. So, and there was a dip in the median. So the car literally went off the highway down this dip. Wow. Right before I got to the dip, it decided to do a backwards loop. So I'm going backwards down this dip, and then it came up the dip, and I'm like, oh shit. And at this point I was like, hang on, girl. And I like grabbed her and put her in my lap, because I think she was like in the passenger seat. And then I was like, hang on. And then it was sideways. So now on the driver's side, okay, the driver's side is sliding, like where I'm at, is driving this way, and boom, we into a tree. Airbags deploy, and I'm like, so I immediately got out of the car. I didn't know like if the car was going to blow up or what was going on. And then I had to call where my son was, because I was supposed to be there to pick up my son in 15 minutes. So, woo! I'm sore right here. But so the universe is so awesome. That was an old car. Okay. So now I'm in a brand new, literally a brand new rental, completely paid for by my insurance. And I'm going to get a new car. So if you guys even knew what has been going on with me in cars in the past year, you would be like, what the fuck? Insanity. But, I did just do a whole lot of manifestation work. A whole lot. And even right when the car crashed, I was like, because I I don't take situations like that anymore with resistance. I I approach them as the universe is working in union. And when I say universe, I mean God. I mean God, goddess, creator, creatrix of all that is, has been, ever will be. When, especially when I'm doing manifestation work and then something like that happens, the universe is upgrading my life. It's upgrading. The dog's chewing on my hair. It's hysterical. She chews on my pants. She chews on my hair. She's a puppy. She's not even quite 3 months old yet. Um, and that's another thing to talk about. So, our familiars, our animals that come into our lives. So, I had the same spirit in three different animals now. The first one was when I was very young, 13, and then he came back into a Maltese body. I didn't realize all of this until after he passed away. The last one, Ollie, which I had for 14 years. And he taught me how to be a mama. And I had to give him up in the midst of addiction, in the midst of heroin addiction, to my best friend Heather's mom, who had just lost her little dog, had just died, and her little dog's name was Wally. This is the funniest story. And it's just like, you can't plan this shit. Okay. So Victoria, my best friend Heather's mom, and Heather and I met in rehab a long time ago. She Either her or her mom would watch Ollie whenever I would have to go off to rehab, because it was like a very, it happened all the time. Okay, so Ollie was very used to them. Ow! And so, but the heroin addiction was, I was at the point I was trying to get out of it, and now I'm pregnant. Okay, and yes, I got off of heroin when I was 4 months pregnant, and have not gone back. I haven't looked back since then. And I'm very open about that. I was very open with the doctors. I was working with an adoption agency, because if I wasn't able to get off of the drugs, I was going to give my kid up for adoption. So I was working with a nonprofit. They helped me and gave me the tools, such as a car, or rides and assistance to get into a rehab, because I tried to get into one at the beginning of my pregnancy and they wouldn't take me. In Texas, you end up pregnant in Texas and you are addicted to heroin, it is a process to get you into a rehab, because nobody does Suboxone or Subutex maintenance. They only want to taper you off. But if you're pregnant, they can't taper you off of the Subutex, because that is what will cause a miscarriage or a death of the baby. And I had already been on methadone, and the universe was not, I mean, in the past, like way long time ago, and the universe was not allowing me to have a methadone baby. That is a disaster. I've heard and I've seen, and methadone is a disaster. Subutex saved my life. Continues to save my life every day. Okay, so back to the story about Ollie. Okay, so my dog's name was Ollie. I had him for 14 years. My mom's dog Angel gave birth to him. He was meant for me. The cutest little Maltese. Kind of looks exactly like this dog, but this is a Maltese-Pom. This is a Pomeranian and a Maltese mixed. Ollie, once he got full grown, was a little bit bigger than her. She's probably only about 2 or 3 pounds right now. Ollie, full grown, was 5 or 6 pounds. So I was pregnant, had to, or no, I wasn't. I wasn't pregnant yet when I had to finally give up Ollie. It was a year and a half after that, but it was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I had to give over Ollie to Victoria, my best friend's mom, And she had just lost her little dog. She was in mourning from losing her little dog that she had had for 17 years or something like that. And the dog's name was Wally. Just let that settle in for a second. Just let it settle. Wally and Ollie. I'm like, so she let me know, I had to hand him over to her because I was leaving Texas to go to a friend of mine's house in Northern California to get off of heroin, which worked for a little bit until it didn't. It was stupid. And I couldn't take him on the plane. I couldn't take him on the plane. It was time to let him go to where, because I couldn't take care of him anymore. And I mean, he had survived and it was my sidekick for so long. I mean, he went to rehab with me a bunch of times. I mean, the dog and I were connected at the hip, and it was the hardest thing to let go of. I went through so much pain without him that I will never allow my child to be taken away due to my behavior, is what I'm saying. So, and I waited until I was 37 to have a kid. Yes, my kid was planned. I decided to have my child because I knew about him 5 years before I ever decided to have him. I knew that he was around me and wanted to be born. And then the pull got so intense that it was my exit plan from addiction because I knew I wasn't going to put him through that. I couldn't. So I waited until the absolute last minute too. 37. I had him when I had him when I was 37. I actually got pregnant around my birthday, which is in June, and then had him in February 2020. He was born right before COVID hit. I came home from the hospital 2 weeks later. All that COVID shit, the lockdowns and everything happened. And he didn't go into the NICU or anything. He wasn't in withdrawals. Everything, it happened absolutely in the best way possible. And that is my experience to this day on how life is. Things happen in the best possible way that they could, to where I am completely taken care of no matter what situation I'm getting myself in. And that is due to being honest, taking responsibility for myself, helping others, and being outside of the wheel of karma. Like my car getting wrecked last night, that wasn't karma. That wasn't a punishment. It is a shift in reality to where I am being upgraded. My vibration is being raised more in alignment to where I want to be going into the life that I'm manifesting. The pain is in the resistance. When you start resisting, not taking responsibility for your own healing, what you want to manifest, your own thoughts, then there's this victim mentality that will take place, where one will feel like the world is imposing itself onto you, when really you are imposing your own manifestations onto yourself. But if you don't have a handle on mental, emotional, spiritual, physical energy bodies, the 4 energy bodies that exist in all of us, when you don't have a handle on those things, when you are not in control of your own energy, then you're manifesting cycles, karmic cycles, thought loops, danger into your life that you are, not wanting. I gotta pause. Okay, I'm back. Somebody asking me for auto insurance when I already have auto insurance. Okay, so Getting in alignment with source. That's what it takes. Getting in alignment with source. Source is within you. You are the source. So the only thing holding you back from your connection with source, like I was talking about yesterday, is conditioning. Conditioning. And making decisions based on conditioning. This brings up something. Okay. Osho Zen. Osho. His name's Osho. He was a spiritual leader back in the 70s. He hasn't even been gone that long. He has this book called Beyond Psychology. And this is where, and this stuff, even reading half of this book literally changed my life forever. Half of it. Not even half of it. Who am I kidding? I hope things aren't getting recorded this way. I'm like saving a video at the same time as recording this. Okay. So, Osho Zen. I don't know if he goes by Osho Zen. That is the name of the tarot cards, but they are based off of the philosophies of Osho. So, Osho led the group of the hippie movement. I think they were called the Sinvasas. Don't quote me on that. I know I'm saying it wrong. Sinvasas, something like that. They actually bought a town out in Utah or something, somewhere out there, and like bought the whole fucking town. He was he may have been the first to say that to be spiritual is to be rich, to be spiritual is to be prosperous. When some religions tell us that in order to be holy or spiritual, you have to be barefoot and broke because you're supposed to give everything away, when really that was just the churches manipulating people out of their money to make the church rich and them broke, okay? So to be spiritual and to be in control of your own energy and in control of your own life and to manifest the dream life that you dream of, that you deserve, is to be prosperous. It's to be wealthy in every aspect, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. Why you don't, in fact, giving away everything that you have is making yourself a doormat, and is you allowing other people and even yourself to trample over your energy. It is a manipulation. If anybody is telling you that you need to give all your shit away and to break your own boundaries to help others, they're manipulating you. Period. Exclamation point. And I am very passionate about that concept. To be spiritual is to be wealthy in mind, body, soul, and spirit. All of them. Because, okay, think about it. And then we're going to get back to the beyond psychology and that concept, because I know I'm going off on a tangent here. Unmedicated ADD. Just saying. You'll probably have to deal with this a lot with me if you are wanting to hang out here on YouTube. Okay, so think about it. If the powers that be could not, for a time being, which that time is over now, manipulate all the good-hearted, spiritual, truly spiritual people out of their money, do you think that we would all be enslaved? Did you understand what I said? So if all the truly spiritual, if all the good people in the world had tons of money to do things with, to help others, do you think we would be in slavery? I don't. If people like me, and this isn't coming from an egoic state, if people like me had, and people like you, if you're here with me, it's you too, because we are in alignment with each other's energy. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. If we had all the money in the world, we would have real effective change. We would have solution, not solutions that create more poverty and more suffering, like the homelessness shit. I mean, you know, Finland has solved homelessness. We all need to be studying Finland and then figuring out how to get whatever they're doing here in the United States into all over the world. Things that are going to take work and time, but are on their way. I have a best friend who is really good at figuring that stuff out, how to do it. And the only thing holding us back is money right now. So, anyway, okay, beyond psychology. And that's created by design. Okay. So, beyond psychology, what I got from this book is that we are living in a schizophrenic society. That is what all of the dishonesty, lies, being taken advantage of has, and religions has created, is a schizophrenic society where our minds are brainwashed, conditioned, same thing, and we choose the conditioning over what our heart wants, when it's actually the absolute opposite of what we should be doing. So, I feel like I have to burp. Ow. This is all bruised or something right here. So this is a good rule of thumb. Start making decisions based on what your heart wants, not your mind. A good example of this is going to college. We're supposed to get out of high school and go to college. Why have we been told that? Because the colleges are raping all of us and robbing us. Literally. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. You're supposed to go along and pay all this money for college and then be in a fucking trap for 30 years after because you have to pay for it. It's literally a mind fuck to get your money. So, do you want to go to college right after school, which doesn't even make fucking sense to me because nobody knows what they want to do right when they get out of high school. You're not supposed to know. So that's why they get you. They got to get you involved in this fucking money trap before you're smart enough to realize that you have no idea what you want to do. Now you're stuck in a money trap doing shit that you don't want to do. And it's like you're fucked and going to be in debt. If you're a normal, society and don't come from tons of money and don't have to worry about that kind of shit. But still, you'll be wasting your time on a degree that you really don't even fucking want, nor do you even want to work in the field. It's a broken system. So, in the interim, Make decisions based off of your heart's desire, not what you've been taught and not what your mind has been conditioned to do just because that's what somebody told you and that's what everybody else does. Dare to do what your heart wants, not what everybody else is doing. Or you're going to get yourself in a trap and you'll be unhappy because you're following your mind and your ego, not your heart's desire. This is how people get trapped in marriages that they hate. They get married because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get married and have kids and da-da-da. Well, all these people marry the wrong fucking person and then they're stuck. And then they don't have the balls to get out of the marriage. And then that causes all kinds of other problems. Infidelity and all kinds of other shit. Death even. People killing each other because they don't have the balls to leave a marriage. What? Come on now. That is absolutely ridiculous. Stand up for yourself. Get the fuck out of the marriage. I mean, come on. You can't be in alignment with source if you're making decisions against yourself. Just remember, you are source. You are source. If you're making decisions against yourself, how are you supposed to be in alignment with source? You can't be. You're making decisions based on other people, other ideas, shit outside of yourself. You can't do that. Life is going to be a lot easier when you start making decisions based on you, what you want, not what somebody else wants, not what your mind tells you is better for your kids. I can tell you one thing. What is best for your kids is what is in your heart and is best for you. If you are making decisions based on outside sources against what you want, that's not good for your kids. Your kids are then in the crossfire of your shitty decisions against yourself. Okay, so as I was saying, if you think that you're making decisions that are best for your kids, but it's against what you want, like staying in a marriage because you think it's best for your kids, well, that's not a reason to stay into a marriage. It's just not. That is ignoring your needs for your children. When you don't ignore your needs and you make decisions based on putting yourself first, everything else falls into place. Everything else. All right, I'm going to end today, or else I'm not going to be able to get this posted. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be on here daily with these little energy updates, letting you know what's going on with me. Don't forget to book your readings. Email me with any questions that you have regarding to booking with me. Or if you just want to say hi, that's cool. I'll set a boundary if one needs to be set. I want to get to know you guys, and I want to form a community of like-minded people. And so we can help each other and rise into this new earth, the paradise planet that we deserve. And we are the revolution. Our children are the revolution. Let's take it by the balls and get going. The time is now. All right. I love you guys. I'm Lindsey Latham. See you tomorrow. Bye.